legal questions. We are live today on CJoy, and we are live today on Facebook Live. And we have the one and only, the stunning, the gorgeous, the beautiful, the young Judge Mablean Ephraim.
Young at heart, baby, and young.
I mean, you look good today.
You know I'm not young. I was the first one to laugh at them shots.
Well, whether you were in line for the shots or not, you are looking stunning on today. And we are so glad to have you. And
I'm glad to be here.
We hear Deborah in the background, and we want.
She's out the back. Oh, hi, Deborah. She's over here helping me. My assistant. I've been running around all morning.
We want to show love and honor to her. She's a great person, a great woman of God, and we are just grateful for both.
Oh, she all right. She don't call all that.
And so, Judge, you are looking wonderful. Before we get into this interview, tell me, what are you doing to look so fabulous?
If I can stop looking at my hair, I can tell you, huh?
You are looking fabulous.
That's vanity is something else. Okay, hi, Sheila. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm thankful for you and congratulate you on your program. This is absolutely wonderful. I wish I could turn this off so I don't look at myself. I always have issues with that. That's why when I tape my show, I make sure that the cameras don't point toward me in any kind of direction. But I am still doing my nonprofit, and since COVID hit, and I couldn't travel, which is my passion, and we don't tape every week, so I have a lot of time to travel, and I've been stuck at home, so I decided to start practicing law a little again, and I've been doing trust administration. With COVID, so many people are dying that so quickly. It's not like people haven't been dying before, but they're dying so quickly and so unexpectedly and so, in succession. So I've had a number of friends who have lost their loved ones, particularly the elderly people. So I've been doing trust administration in addition to my nonprofit foundation. We still do that. I care for a nephew in a convalescent home. And, I'm auntie judge, I'm mama, I'm godmama, I'm grandma. So I just stay pretty busy. And I did something that I don't do as a general rule. I've been cleaning my house. Cleaning out closets and cleaning out drawers and getting rid of paper and shredding and things like that I don't normally do because I hate housework.
Well, Judge, I want the people to understand the enormous accomplishments that you have achieved. You have achieved so much in your short lifetime. I mean, from just growing up from modest beginnings, you are an attorney, a judge, an actress, a TV judge. You was the first breakthrough TV judge in the history.
Oh, first breakthrough female African-American TV judge.
Yes, you were the first female African-American breakthrough TV judge. Right. You are also a member of the West Angeles Church of God in Christ, where the one and only Bishop Blake is your pastor and our presiding bishop. He's doing a wonderful job. We thank God for him.
A little while longer.
Yes. And since we talking about Bishop Blake, we're going to give a shout out to Mother Barbara McCoo Lewis as well. And you have done such a tremendous body of work as a former prosecutor in Los Angeles, California. You have done your work there in Los Angeles. Tell us about your modest beginnings from Mississippi, because when people look at you and read your resume and your bio, they don't understand that you came from modest beginnings. You came from
I came from poor beginnings. That's to put it mildly. I am number 9 of 10 children born to a family in Hazelhurst, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. We moved from Hazelhurst, Mississippi in 1955 to Los Angeles, California when I was of a tender age. My family consisted of my father, who was a butcher, and my mother, who eventually became a licensed vocational nurse. When we first came to Los Angeles, she was just a CNA. That was the bedpan nurse, as we called them. But my mother had a desire to go to school. She had a desire to go to college. She had a desire to do all of that and was unable to because she grew up between 1911 and when we got to California in 1955. So eventually she went to night school at Jefferson Adult School and got her GED degree. Then she went to the junior college and got her license for a nurse, all while continuously raising, at that time, 7 children who were minor. My mother raised us in the Church of God in Christ. My parents raised us in the Church of God in Christ. My father had a stroke when I was in the 8th grade, and it left him completely disabled and unable to care for the family or to provide for the family, which left the burden on my mother to still raise, at that time, 7 more children to get out of high school, or 6 to get through high school. On a vocational nurse's salary, not a lot of money. And the Social Security denied him his disability, though he could do absolutely nothing. But because he was only 53 years old, they did not want to give him permanent and total disability. So my mother and I fought the claim through the system, took a couple of years to do so, but we prevailed. We could not afford the services of a lawyer. So at that time, I said, all right, I'm going to become a lawyer for my family because I'm never going to put my family in this position again. I want to be able to provide the legal services for them that is absolutely necessary. So that was my first taste of law, appealing Social Security denials. Then the movement began. The civil rights movement was going on with Martin Luther King and all of them, the demonstrations for justice and equal justice and to end segregation and to end discrimination. So I got totally involved and caught up in that here in Los Angeles, but my mother would not let me go back and participate in the sit-ins and the marches and all of that. So I did what I could here in Los Angeles, but I was enamored by it. And I was most enamored by the fact that the justice system is where the change came through. There was Thurgood Marshall filing cases in the court to end discrimination. There were lawyers in the NAACP Legal Defense Fund filing cases to end discrimination. And that's when I realized that's where the real juice is in the law, because it is the law that causes changes to be made. So I then decided I wanted to be a lawyer in the 8th grade. Knowing that I was poor and knowing that our family didn't have the money to do so, I found out what it was going to take for me to get to law school. And that meant finishing high school with good grades so that I would be eligible for a scholarship. And I got Bank of America scholarship and any number of other scholarships, including my church helped to support me through college. And then I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. It's like, why do I have to go to college? Well, the rules said you had to go to college. So I finished college, but got sidetracked, got married, had children. I had 1 baby. My husband already had 2. So now I'm not in college. I'm a mother caring for children. Decided I can't do this. I have not lost sight of my dream. So 4 years out of undergraduate school, I finally went back to law school and went to night school for 4 years instead of 3, worked a full-time job, 8 hours a day, cared for 3 children and a husband, but by the grace of God, I grew up in the Church of God in Christ that told me I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and I believed it. And I believed that there was nothing too hard, that I could have exactly what I wanted if I was willing to put the time, the energy, and the effort into doing so. And that I was willing to do whatever was necessary. I worked at jobs that I didn't like in particular, but when I came out of undergraduate school, I was a correctional officer because I wanted to get off into the legal field. So I was a correctional officer at the federal prison. Then I became a legal secretary. I worked in finance for First Western Bank. I worked in the investment division, learned a little bit about investment. I worked as a legal secretary for the only Black law firm in Los Angeles at that time. Then I went to the city attorney's office and worked as a law clerk. Then I got to the appellate division and started learning appellate law. And I had a plan. It's like, I've got to get connected because my family didn't have a name in the community. So I had to make those connections. I had to network and I had to find a way to get in. So when I left the city attorney's office after 5 years, I opened my own practice. I had a name for myself. I had a reputation. And from there, the doors opened, and I've been at it ever since.
Tell me about what it was like for you to start your own practice in Los Angeles. Los Angeles must be one of the most competitive legal markets in the world, Los Angeles and New York. So you were able to start your own practice from the ground up. And so when people say they can't do things, I don't know how to do things, you did not come from a family that passed this leadership down to you in terms
no name, no money, no titles, no positions.
Right.
Let me tell you,
do this.
The way I was able to do that is simply, again, by the grace of God and faith. People use that word lightly, but it really is a powerful word. If you have faith in God and faith in yourself, and if you believe, you can make it happen. As I said, I had a plan. I never intended to work for myself. To work for others, because I don't like working for other people. My father put that in me and said, you don't have to work for somebody else. Go get your own business, start your own business. Even though he didn't, he told us, he put that in us. So my plan was to go to the city attorney's office as a prosecutor to get a job, to earn enough money, to save some money. And not only that, to get a reputation, to get established in the legal community. As a prosecutor, you're immune from lawsuits for malpractice. No one can sue you for malpractice as a prosecutor. So I wanted to get the trial experience, and I also wanted to get a reputation, and I wanted to get connected in the legal community. So I stayed there, and after 5 years, I opened my own practice. I had $5,000, which was my quote retirement from the city attorney's office. $5,000 to open a practice. 3 children, a husband. You know that's faith. I just found me a law office with a classmate. She had an office and a law office, and offered me space with her. And I rented from her, and it was all by faith. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't have a small business loan, had never heard of such. I didn't have family and relatives who could give me a loan of any kind to help me, undergird me as I opened my practice. It was strictly by faith. And I am telling you, Sheila, I opened my practice in 1982. Yeah, in 1982, I opened my private practice. I closed it in 2006 after I was on 2004. Not once I started divorce court. I had done that for 6 years before I closed it, but I closed it in 2004. There were plenty times that I didn't have enough money to pay the salaries of my 3 employees, and nor the rent for my law office. That's due this Friday. I didn't have it. Had not a clue where it was coming from, but I'm here to testify that every Friday by payday, when payday was due, never missed a payday, the Lord made a way. Sent a client in, a new client in, sent an old client in who paid some money. The Lord made a way. I never missed a payday. Now, I missed paying some mortgages at home. Let me tell you that. And I got foreclosure notices quite frequently in that first home. But again, faith in God. I got to know the lender's representative real well. She called and say, your mortgage is overdue. Yeah, I know. When you gonna pay it? I don't know. You gonna pay it? Yes, I'm gonna pay it. Why are you so sure you're gonna pay it? Because I know the Lord is not gonna let me lose my property. So I'm going to pay it. I can't tell you when, but I can tell you I'm gonna pay it before you foreclose. Baby, I got to the date. You know how they have the foreclosure sale is tomorrow? I've gotten that close to foreclosure, but the Lord, again, whoops, here comes the money. So I trusted in God and my faith and work, and I just kept working. I worked long hours. I worked 18-hour days sometimes. 14 was my average work day.
Wow.
And you just have to have a plan. I get up early in the morning. I put a load of laundry in the washer before I leave home, put that load in the dryer, put another load in the washer. I prepared breakfast for the children while they're getting dressed. When they get to the table to eat their meal, I go get myself dressed, and then we get out of there for school and work, and it's planned. That's the way it works. You gotta be organized.
So what you have done is so phenomenal, and it's a trailblazing.
It's truly unbelievable, but you know
it is unbelievable. It really takes practicing law to really understand how believable it is, because we have a lot of things against us coming out the gate.
Oh, yes.
Our race and our gender, okay?
That's right.
And so you have to overcome those obstacles by faith. And then after you overcome those obstacles by faith, then you got to try to build the business, get the business, keep the business, and then, then have enough business and money to pay everything, then have enough to live off of.
And I didn't always have enough. Here, look, Internal Revenue Service to this day, I think my name is up there and it's written down. This girl does not pay her taxes on time because a lot of times I didn't. So that mean I wasn't a good business person because I didn't know and practice how to budget my money really, really well. So there were times I didn't pay my taxes. They know me now. And every time I turn around, they send me a letter. Now, I'm no longer in that position. I pay my taxes and I do it all the time, but they still just send me notice. If my accountant sends in my tax returns and say my taxes are $2,000, trust me, IRS is gonna say, nah, they $2,500. It's always something with me and them. But you know what? This too shall pass. I just deal with it, overcome it, and going about my business. But yes, I recall when I said I wanted to be a lawyer, and I told you I went to work in the legal community first so I could get my foot through the door and get to know people and network. I worked for the only Black male law firm in the city of Los Angeles, 5 Black male lawyers. Wow. I was a legal secretary, right, for the head of the firm, the head partner. He said to me, well-known man, and I'll call his name, J. Stanley Sanders, a Rhodes Scholar, the first Black Rhodes Scholar out of Watts. He had a story of his own, and I admired all of that. He said, why you want to be a lawyer? This is hard work. I said, well, you doing it. Why can't I do it?
Right.
And then the other 2 guys would say the same thing to me. Why you want to be a lawyer? Why you just can't be happy being a legal secretary? I said, I want to be an attorney just like you, but it's hard work. You see the long hours we put in? Yes, I'm willing to put in the long hours. You see we don't have time with our children? Yes, I'm willing to do all of that. And I was discouraged. There were times I go to court. I've had judges say to me, little girl, not, attorney, that other last name that I won't use. Little girl, I've been addressed as little girl. I've been addressed as lady, let me tell you this. No, I'm attorney. Please call me by my title. Please call me by my name. I traveled up and down the state of California because my license said state of California. I went to a little town called Joshua Tree, which is military town. It's very small, and I was representing a military wife. Well, military wives were frowned upon because the system wanted to protect our soldiers. And I believe in protecting our soldiers too. But our soldiers are supposed to pay their child support. Plus they get additional money every month for the family when they declare that they have a family. They give them additional money for the family in their stipend. So they should pay it. So I'm representing the wife, and it was really a hard case. Judge told me, little girl, and pointed his finger at me from the bench. We don't do that down here. Down here, we do it like this. I said, well, the last time I checked, down here was part of the state of California. And the rules of evidence are across the state, not across the cities and the little locales. Right. And he looked at me and said, I don't think you need to come down here anymore. I said, I won't when this case is over, but until that happens, I need to make my record so that I can take you up on appeal if these rulings aren't right.
Yeah. I had a case down in the Boot Hills of Missouri, and when I was coming back at night, this truck tried to run me off.
Run you over, yeah.
With a Confederate flag,
wow,
in the back. So we have a lot of these experience of racism and discrimination, and we keep smiling. And I don't even go into it.
And then don't forget now the legal fees. When they award legal fees on cases, especially in family law matters, and they award legal fees to the attorney, the opposite attorney, quite frequently. My fees were never as high as my male counterpart. The men always got awarded more legal fees. Then when I was a criminal attorney, I practiced criminal law. I started in that area naturally, moving from prosecution to criminal defense. And so I was appointed by the court for indigent defense for clients who couldn't afford their attorneys. Even then, first of all, there wasn't that many women being appointed to the cases. but we were appointed to the smaller cases that paid the lesser fee. They wouldn't appoint the women lawyers to murder cases and to attempted murder cases and to the cases that had the higher fees that they paid the indigent defense lawyers. We got the smaller cases that paid less fees. So we went through all of that. And so, as I say, like Oprah said, all my life I've been fighting, and I'm going to keep on fighting.
Oh my goodness.
My life I've had to fight, and I'm going to keep on fighting.
And we do have to fight.
Equality. That's right.
We do have to fight. I want to, before I get into your career as an actress, I want to talk to you about why you chose to go into domestic law, family law, and what types of abuses did you see women suffering or men, and types of abuses that you saw families dealing with, because you have done a tremendous body of work in the community dealing with family issues for men and for women. Can you tell us about that work?
Well, I as a criminal attorney, a prosecutor, I got a lot of cases. I realized a lot of cases were coming through with women who were victims of domestic violence. And usually when they come through, they've been beat up, they've been assaulted, and the police have arrested their mate. But now it's time, when I file the criminal charge and they come to court, they don't want to testify. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to say anything. I got tired of hearing that and seeing that. Eventually, a case came across my desk that was one of my classmates' sisters, a sister of a classmate from high school. And her husband went through that with her on several occasions. On the last occasion, he ultimately shot and killed her. And it's like, no, it's time for something to happen. We can't keep doing it like this. So I founded an organization called, at that time, it was called the Family Law Center. And we did and helped women get domestic violence restraining orders, along with Black Women Lawyers Association and the other Women Lawyers Association, which was predominantly the majority race, white people. But we joined together, the two women lawyer associations, and helped to found the Family Law Center and to fund that. Then I went to my presiding judge, who was Madge Watai, a woman, thank the Lord. I went to her and I said to her, Judge Watai, it seems like we need to do something so these women don't keep saying, I don't want to testify, and the men get off and nothing happens. So I came up with a plan that says, well, why don't we put them on probation or do something like that and require them to go get counseling, require them to not come through the system again, require them to not complete the same behavior again, and then leave them in probation for maybe a year, and then they can come back, and after that we'll drop the charge, but don't just drop it all together. So Judge Watai, of course, we fine-tuned the process, and she agreed as the presiding judge, and we started having what was called diversion. It wasn't called diversion then, we just called it, this is what the judge was going to do, we're going to suspend the case. Ultimately, some of the legislators picked up the situation and presented legislation that was called domestic violence abuse legislation. So it became legislative in terms of the fact that you no longer could drop a case, the woman or whoever was the victim, once the police became involved, once the prosecutor office filed the case, you couldn't come back and say, no, I don't want to. You're now a witness. You're not you're only a witness, and it's the state who decides whether the case should be dismissed. As a result, the instances of domestic violence were seriously reduced because now there are consequences. So now we have what's called the Domestic Violence Prevention Act, not just in the state of California, but across the nation. Every state has adopted some similar act related to domestic violence, abuse against, not just against husbands and wives, but against lovers, boyfriends and girlfriends, against prior lovers, against children, against parents, because, parental abuse was on the rise. I couldn't believe that when I started seeing, with drug abuse, with the rise in drug abuse came the rise in parental abuse, because people and children on drugs that wanted money for drugs, they beat up anybody. They take money from anybody to get to support their habits. So parental abuse became an interesting thing. And it's like, wow, this is so sad. So I work with that because I understand, look, I came out of a family, thank God. I was blessed to come out of a 2-parent family with my mother and father, both members of the church, both not just members of the church, but practiced Christian principles and lived Christian principles. Neither one of them cussed each other. Neither one of them hit each other. Neither abused each other. And I mean, I didn't see a whole lot of kissing and hugging and, sexual display of affection, but I saw love displayed, and I saw respect for each other displayed. So I am concerned, and I think it's very important for families to be together. When I became a family law attorney, I noticed the system would give fathers visitation. I was like, visitation? Weekend visitation every other weekend. How is a daddy visiting their own child? Mm-hmm. No such thing as a visitor. You visit with strangers. You visit with friends. You visit with family. These are your youngins. You support them. You take care of them. You care for them. So I was appalled at this every other weekend visitation. And I started to get a lot of male clients. And these were men who wanted to have time with their children. They wanted to be there to go to the school activities. They wanted to do just what mothers do. And I said to them, okay, now, this means that you got to take off work sometimes to take them to the doctor. Y'all don't like to take off work. So if I get you custody, you've got to do that. You've got to go over to the kids' school when there's a parent-teacher meeting as well. You've got to get them breakfast in the morning. You got to drop them off at school. You got to pick them up from school. You got to make all of those arrangements. You got to help them with homework. I found that most of the men were willing to be a part of that. They just were so disrespected in the system.
Yes.
And there was this attitude that, particularly for Black men, there was this attitude that all they are baby makers, that they're no good for nothing daddies. And I was like, that's not true. So there was a young man that started an organization here called My Child Says Daddy. I worked with him, and I ended up having a lot of male clients. And I worked with them to get custody of their children. I fought hard. I got a police officer who got custody of 3 little children, all under the age of 5. And I got him full custody of his 3 children. So my reputation began to spread that you get the custody. So then I founded, when I went to television, I founded the Mablean Ephraim Foundation, which is my nonprofit. And I focused on anti-domestic violence in terms of, we have domestic violence prevention classes. I focus on recognizing and encouraging fathers who do take care of their children, who do provide the love and support for their children, but they go unrecognized. So I focused my attention on that. And that's why I understand that it's important for children that they have a relationship with both mother and father, not just mother, and that it is the responsibility of mother and father, not just mother. So I encourage it, I push for it, and I'm glad to know that it's happening more and more every day.
And it is happening. Now, Missouri, I consider it a little backwards, but nevertheless, we prefer joint custody. Male.
That's what we do here, joint custody. Yes.
Yeah, so we prefer joint custody. I would expect that in California, but
yeah, we moved toward joint custody and not quote visitation. Joint custody, meaning that you, as both parents, make decisions and are involved in decision making regarding the care of the children, regarding the education, regarding the kinds of things they get involved in. Oftentimes, you would have mothers enrolling the kids in all kind of after school activities just to prevent daddy's time. Daddy from having time. So then when it's time for visitation, he'd say, well, he has a baseball game after school. So no, we stopped all of that. The parents have to sit down together, decide what activities will the children be involved in, so that both parents can share in that, not only be there for the activity, but share in the cost of it as well.
Excellent. You've done a great work. We are listening to See Joy FM, See Joy Network, and we are grateful to have with us the one and only Judge Mablean Ephraim. She is here with us all the way from Beverly Hills, California.
I'm in Los Angeles, honey. I don't live in Beverly Hills.
Los Angeles, Beverly Hills. Where you live, it all runs together. So we're grateful to have her with us today, and we're thankful for Minister Donnie Savage and Daryl Breath that are the CFOs of See Joy Network. Now, Mablean, I want to ask you about this fundamental, groundbreaking career as a TV judge. Then we're going to get to your daughter, who is a force of her own. Lots of people don't know about your daughter, right?
That's true. Well, here in the entertainment industry, they know my daughter well better than they know me because she was out there before I was, and she's a force to be reckoned with. She made the 40 and under, and those making a difference in the entertainment world years ago. So, but it came about again. God has a divine plan for our lives. People say that haphazardly and don't really mean it, but I know it for a fact. Because I didn't like the way this face of mine looked. I didn't like the way my hair looked. I didn't like the way I looked. I thought I was ugly because everyone has said that. I said, no, you're not. Although every review they had given me was, you're absolutely great. Our ratings are good. You're doing a good job. No one had ever said anything to me other than those words. But when it came to contract negotiation and I asked for a certain amount of money, they weren't willing to give it to me. That was the main thing that broke us. Now, part of that contract part of those negotiations dealt with some hair issues, as they said, my hair issues. I didn't have hair issues because I'm a Black woman. I wore a perm. And I'm a businesswoman first. So I did all of that time-consuming hair issue work off the set. Paid my hairdresser to do that my own dime. Mm-hmm. I didn't take up the time on the set to do all that. They were mistaken about that. And again, it was the issue of race and discrimination because here you are on a show in Hollywood, they don't understand the complexity of the hair issues related to Black females. Because why? They're not trying to understand at all. But there is no way, and I don't want anybody to think that because I don't want anyone to ever do that I would not take a job because of a hairstyle. Are you crazy? Hairstyles come and go. Hairstyles change as frequently as you change, you turn the water on and off. I would never not take a job based upon a hairstyle. That would be crazy. That's foolishness. Okay.
No, I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of research and reading about you, and then I know you personally, and you're an awesome individual. But I have never heard that story about.
Well, you didn't read the Hollywood. You didn't read the Hollywood papers. So
that's I didn't read the Hollywood papers. No, but
it's out there somewhere on the media because that's what they said to the people. And I wanted to clearly understood that I am a businesswoman. When I left undergraduate school and I went to a job as a legal secretary, I took an interview at these law firms in Beverly Hills, and I had a employment agency assisting me in that. Mm-hmm. And this was, so we'll know the time, 1978, when I came out of law school, 1978. 1974, when I came out, 1971 to 74, I'm in law school. And those are years I wasn't in law school. 74 to 78, I'm in law school. So I'm looking for a legal secretary position, right? Because I want to be in law. I was wearing an afro, a short afro. 74 to 78, like you say, I'm going to law firms in Los Angeles, California, predominantly white and Jewish, looking for work. My employment agency said to me when I kept getting turned down, because I had good secretarial skills, because I had been a secretary for the chaplain at the colleges I went to. Mm-hmm. And I knew how to use the dictaphone. I knew how to do all that kind of stuff because I had learned those skills. He finally said to me, my counselor, you need to change your hairstyle. He says, that's what's preventing you from getting your jobs. I said, what? He said, your short afro. He says, they're not accustomed to that look in white law firms, in Jewish law firms. You're not going to get your job. He says, I don't want to sound racist, but I'm your counselor. I want to help you get a job. It's just a fact. And I went and bought my first wig. And I put on that wig and I went to interviews after he told me that. And I got a job. And the job I got, I can tell you this, he just died, but his family could verify. The man's name was Eric Parquet, a Jewish fellow. I went in there with that wig on for months until he got to know me as a person. and he got to know my skills and my ability as his secretary. And he trusted me as his legal secretary. After I gained all that, it's like, boop, wig came off. I showed up with my afro. And he's like, who is this? And I said, oh, I just changed my hairstyle. So that's why I want people to understand that I'm not petty and nor am I ignorant. And you do what you have to do, because oftentimes we as Black people, we take some of these things and use it as excuses to keep from getting employed. You got to figure out how to get around certain things in life. No, it's not right. And we need to make changes, and we have to talk about it. But in the meanwhile, you cannot refuse to work because of it. Girl, I put that wig on and went to work. Do you hear me? And I'll do the same today.
That was smart. That was smart, because we do need to work. We do. You can always take it off once you get your foot in the door.
That's right.
Totally agree. So now, how did you transition from divorce court to the Tyler Perry movies?
Well, again, orchestrated by God, not me. My publicist at the time, her name was Pat Tobin, and today she's deceased. She was my first publicist, and she had been in the industry a long time. And she and I just met at a networking meeting of Black Women Network, and it was Women Lawyers Network. I mean, not lawyers, women business women networking. And she was the mistress of ceremonies for that event. She knew I was a new person out here in entertainment. Introduced herself, became my publicist. Took me around to some everywhere, introducing me to the entertainment world. Tyler was just coming out with his plays. He was still just doing plays. We went to one of his plays in Hollywood. Afterwards, she took me to the back and introduced me. And he said, oh, you're Judge Mablean. I've watched you a few times. I said, thank you, Mr. Perry. He says, I like your work. He said, I'm negotiating a contract to produce some movies. And when I get it, I'm gonna put you in my movie. That's what he said. I can't tell you how many times people in Hollywood will tell you stuff like that. Girl, I got you. Girl, I'm gonna get you. Girl, I'm gonna put you in this. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do that for you. Most of the times, it's just a bunch of lip service. Tyler got his contract with Lion Gates Film and called me for his first movie and said, okay, I got a part for you. I wrote it. I want you in it. Here we go again. I got a trip planned to go where? Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
I said, Tyler, I'm going on vacation. When are you filming? When are you going to film this? He said, he gave me the dates. I said, you got to film every part at the same time? No. I said, can you put my part off a while? He said, I can put it off a few days. I said, okay, I'll take it, but I can't come that day you want me to come because I'll be on vacation. And that was his first film. He was filming in Atlanta. And that's how I got the job. That's how I got started with Tyler in films. He kept his word. He kept his promise. Young people, whoever's listening to me, if you want to learn anything in life, your word is important. Keep your word. And we as people of God know that because the Bible tells us, and if you believe it, is that our words have life and our words have power. And the power of life and death is in our words. So don't speak words haphazardly. Don't make promises just for the sake of making promises. Don't give people answers to things and say, yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that just to get them off your back. That's not the way you do it. You want to stop people from bugging you about something. You agree to it. Don't do that. Your words have power. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. If you say that you're going to do it, do it. And don't let anything stop you but death or sickness, okay? Do it. It's just that important. And that's how Tyler and I got connected.
That's powerful. That's powerful. You were nominated for an Emmy. You got to say your daughter's name.
Taja Mika.
Taja Mika. That's beautiful.
But we just call her Taj.
Okay, you call her Taj. Taja Mika.
Yeah.
You and Taja Mika were nominated for double Emmy awards. The first time.
I don't know what you mean by double Emmy.
Were you and your daughter? There were doubles.
Yeah, we were both nominated for Emmys.
Right. Okay. And that this was the first time in history that this has ever happened. Black, white, whatever. It had never happened before. So
First time in history of television that a mother-daughter team was nominated for an Emmy in the same year nominated for an Emmy. Mother-daughter at the same time. Right.
And so tell us about this. This is a great accomplishment. Very big.
I was nominated for my new show, Justice with Judge Mablean, which can be seen daily, Monday through Friday, on television screens. Check your local listings for date and time. I must learn to say that. The Church of God in Christ taught us not to push ourselves and not to, to not speak up about yourselves, but good marketing principles and good business principles say you market your product. And my product is Justice with Judge Mablean. That's my business product. And it's seen daily, Monday through Friday. Check your local television listings for time and channel. Well, I was nominated for an Emmy Award for my portrayal, for my work as Judge Mablean on Justice with Judge Mablean in 2018. My daughter Tosh is a documentary film producer, and she was nominated in 2018 for 2 awards for 2 films that she had produced, 2 documentaries she had produced in her work at in her work, what's that TV say? Logo TV. So Logo TV. She won both her Emmys that night. I did not win, but I tell you what, her winning was better than me ever winning, because mothers always want the best for their children. Right. So I'll take a loss to my daughter any day. And I'm so proud of her that she won 2 Emmys, which totaled her Emmy wins to 5. She now has 5 Emmys under her belt. Am I a proud mother? You better know it.
That is outstanding. That is outstanding. Yeah. We have to get Taj on. Can you get Taj to come on? Taj is a brown.
I'm gonna give you her email. And you send her a notice, just like you sent me a notice, because she's a force to be reckoned with. Now I can tell you that.
Yes, you're both forces to be reckoned with. Now, I know I'm asking a lot of questions. We can ready to wrap it up, but you are a spiritual person of faith. You are an anointed person. Okay, I remember when I sat at the table with you. Oh, we got to give a shout out to Marilyn Walker, my big sister, my new big sister. God bless you, Marilyn.
She's gonna be angry with me because I didn't even tell her I was going to be on this show today.
Well, I sent her the information and also put it in your, and somebody added me to your family reunion group.
Oh, good.
I'm in the Ephraim. Yeah, I'm in the Ephraim.
You know what? No, that Ephraim family reunion group we're not a part of, because the Ephraim family reunion group that we're a part of, you didn't get added because we don't send it out. That came out of Alabama, right?
I think so. Someone sent me.
That's the side of the Ephraims we don't know, and we're not sure that we're connected with them. Now, slavery separated us.
Right.
Slavery separated us, and we didn't get to know all of us. But my father, who was the Ephraim, never told us anything about his family going to Alabama. So we don't know if we're connected or not. But based upon the lineage that those people sent me, because they kept saying that we were connected and I was family, and I said, I don't know. So let me see, how do you think we're connected? And the reason I said I don't know is because they kept saying I was connected, but they didn't know any of my other brothers or sisters who are all older than me. And I'm number 9 of 10. Okay. So how do you know me in the group? Right. So I asked them to send me the family tree on which they based our connection. And then I gave it to my older sisters and brothers. They didn't see anybody on there that was connected to us that we knew about. So they may very well be. I can't say they aren't. I can't say they are. But I can say that I didn't put you on that list.
Okay, well, I don't know why they pulled me in the group, but nevertheless.
You're in our group, though. You're in our group.
Yes, I'm in your group. I'm in your group. Now, you are very spiritual. I was talking about when we sat at the We Care banquet together at the table with your sister, myself, a couple other attorneys. And what I was so impressed about was your love for God. Even though we were having a good time, you made several comments about your love for God. You are also the moderator for Mother Barbara McCool Lewis Alliance of Attorney and Judges. You are the moderator for that group. Tell us how you have used your faith to build all of these different things, your career, law, entrepreneurship, foundations, not-for-profits, so many things. All of these things were driven by your faith. Can you, before we go off, can you just tell us so that we will stop making excuses? We need to stop making excuses because you have broken ground in so many areas. I mean, you weren't raised in Los Angeles. You came from Mississippi. And
I was born in Mississippi, raised in Los Angeles. I was raised in Los Angeles because I came here as a top. My first day of school was in Los Angeles, so I was raised here.
Okay, but you broke ground. You broke ground in LA. In LA, Los Angeles is not an easy place to break ground in, especially for an African-American female attorney. So tell us how you have used your faith to achieve so many things.
Well, Sheila, I think I've been saying that all along, is that I recognize that I was born in Church of God in Christ, and the principles and the biblical principles that I learned, I put them to work. Oftentimes we read scripture and we quote scripture, but we don't make it a part of our lives. We don't practice scripture. And as I said to you, my scripture that I live by is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Not only that, my mother taught us and had us to believe that if you but have the faith to believe, as a grain of mustard seed, you can receive. And I just believe those principles, and as a result of believing, I acted upon my belief. That to this day, if there's nothing else I believe those. And my scripture that I live by and I move by is Ephesians 3:20. Now unto him who's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. So that covers infinity, what we can ask, whatever your little mind, above what your little mind can think, and above what you can even ask out of your mouth. If you think about that and really truly believe in God that he's able to do that, then you don't listen to people when they say you can't. Our parents didn't allow the word can't to be used in our home. So you could never say, I can't. You may say, I'm unable to get that done right now, and I need to do this in order to do that, and I'm a little short on this kind of dollar, or I need a little more time, but you could not say, I can't. So what people have to do, and I do the same thing. If I decide I want to run a business, I want to open a business, I did an elderly care home, I did a limousine service. When I want to run a business, open something, and the Lord give me that gift or give me that idea, I just go for it. I go for it. I don't follow the business plan. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Dr. Valerie McDaniels will probably, say, no, Judge, don't teach that. Follow business plans, okay? Follow business principles. I'm not suggesting that you don't, but God moves all of us in different ways. For me, he gives me an idea. He gives me the way to put the idea together, and then I go for it. So I don't have like my nonprofit foundation. I don't have $1 million budget, but I do the work. It's the ministry. I'm not concerned about how much money and how big what I do is. I'm not concerned about the title and the position. I'm not concerned about how many people know what I do. I'm just concerned about the ministry that I do. I truly believe that if I reach one person and I make one person's life better, then I've done the work of God. So through my foundation, we've put at least 60 kids through college right now.
Oh,
And we're
wow.
doing this every year. We're granting scholarships. We've had 3 classes of kids, no, since 8 years. So you go to school for 4 years. So now we've got a bunch of them that have come out already. But I'm not granting $100,000 scholarships, a full scholarship ride. I wish I could, but I'm granting scholarships. Not only are we granting scholarships, we're granting the push, the hope, the encouragement. I stay in touch with my young people when they go to college. If they stay in touch with me, I encourage them to do so. I pay attention to what they're doing. So I don't do it, so that's the way I live my life. It's like what God tells me to do. When he gives me an idea to do something, I do it. This year, because of COVID, we still had our Father's Day event. We'll have it again this year on Father's Day, June 20th, virtually. Listen for the announcements. I'm on the Hale Morris Lewis board with Mother Lewis here in Los Angeles. It's a senior citizen home, 42 seniors. When COVID hit for those this year, my first concern were those seniors over there. Are the seniors getting their food? Are the seniors over there getting enough? Do they have their utilities on? Are they able to pay their bills? At Christmas time, I gave them all a gift card to go get some groceries. That's just what I do. What I do is whatever I can to help and to minister, because we do ministry. That's God's work. We feed the hungry. We take care of the widows. We take care of the children. That's why I say I have a whole lot of grandchildren. I mean, godchildren. I'm auntie to so many people I don't even know. They call me auntie. I just accept it. I accept that's my calling, and I love it. I love being around them, and that's just that's my faith. My faith in God. I believe, and I know for sure. People say find out your purpose and your calling. I know for sure, Sheila, that my purpose is to give hope to the motherless. Now that's my great main purpose in life. Not the motherless because they don't have a mother, because you had to have a mother to get here, and you had to have a woman to give you birth. But I'm talking about mothering. I'm talking about the mother love, the one that encourages, the one that disciplines, the one that teaches, the one that helps you learn how to budget and how to take care of your children, the one that pushes, the one that you can cry on her shoulder when things aren't going well, and she can share with you words of encouragement and pray with you. I'm the mother that can also laugh with you, and I can jump and shout with you, and I can be at that graduation and yell and scream with you. That's my job. That's my job, and that's who I'm here for. That's my purpose in life, and I deal with it like that. So when I run in, like this one young lady's in college now, and she called me the other day. She said she was in a home. I said, honey, you're in a domestic violence situation in your own home with your mother. You got to get out. It's unsafe. You're trying to finish college. It's not safe. I'm getting ready. I'm going to find a way to get that child out of there into a safe environment so she can finish college. That's my mission in life. I'm mother to the motherless, not the ones who every child has someone who birthed them in the world. But being a mother is more than giving birth. I'm the one beyond giving birth. So that's you accept your assignment. People say, girl, you do so much. How you do all that? I said, I do it all through the strength and the grace of God. My prayer daily is, God, give me strength. If you give me the strength, I'll do your will. If you continue to bless me, I'll do your will. I pray, I fast, I trust, I believe God. We say that word, I believe God. Simple as that. I believe that God is who he said he is, and he will do what he said he will do. If we but trust and ask and obey. You know that little song we learned in come on now, you know it, Sheila. Let's say, trust and obey. Oh, there's no, you didn't learn that in Sunday school?
I don't recall.
God, I learned that at Kojic Sunday School. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey. So I know all my little Sunday school songs, girl. Those songs have words. Those words are powerful, and they have life. Trust me, they do. Call them up. I call them up. Yeah.
You have done a wonderful job. Will you come back, please?
I will be happy to come back. When the next time I come back, we should have conversation about things that's going on in life. Conversation, you and I.
Okay.
Conversation, because now you're just interviewing me. I was telling my assistant, I don't like these shows where they just interview me. I like to have discussions. I like to have conversations because you are a brilliant mind. You have a brilliant mind. And I don't know employment law. And I'm telling you, girl, you good. I read your articles. And we have people out there that I know they don't understand all of that. And with COVID going on, it's like, can my boss fire me? Because I'm sick. And if I don't get to work, can they fire me? If I don't get the shot, can they? Hey, that's a question I have for you, Sheila. If people don't take the shots, mm-hmm. Can employers require you or demand that you take the shot once it becomes available to everybody? And can they fire you if you don't take it? People asking me that. I don't know.
That's a novel area of the law. And I am going mm-hmm. to say no. They cannot require you to take the shots because there are a lot of things that goes into the shot. Some mm-hmm. people say that that the shots have been used, fetus have been used from abortions. So that's religion. Some people say
now we can't go there with knowing how they develop these vaccines for shots. Now you can't get that deep in their religious because that is not going against religion. Because
people have taken their position.
Okay, that position is crazy because saints and folks that go to church every Sunday, they take more aspirin and Aleve and Tylenol and pain pills than anybody I know. You got how many saints we know that are diabetic? They are taking that insulin and they don't know how that insulin was developed and what it was developed from. Don't even try to go there.
But actually this argument, this position was presented to me, a concern from the Catholic Church, actually. So,
I don't care. The Catholics take all that stuff, all that medicine that they don't know where the stuff comes from and how it was made. Don't even go there. They don't know if other medicine could have come from the fetus or from the pig or from the dog or from the cat. Come on now, we're not that deep. No.
And you know
if God didn't intend and didn't want man to have the knowledge to create in these kinds of things, he wouldn't have given it to him. And he told us in his word that I made man and woman, but I gave man dominion over the earth. I made all the animals, but I gave man dominion. Mm-hmm. And so he gave us dominion. So you say it. He gave us dominion.
No. He did give us dominion.
Pain pills. They got diabetes. High blood pressure is rampant among our community, right? Mm-hmm. And among church folks, it's real rampant. Every year at the convocation, somebody have a diabetic fit. Somebody fall out because they didn't take their insulin, they didn't eat, they didn't do what they were supposed to do. You got diabetes, high blood pressure is rampant among us, high cholesterol, heart attacks, and strokes. You tell me now. I see a lot of people going into kidney dialysis, kidney failure, and on dialysis, and it's a lot of Christians on dialysis. And we go to the doctors and we take medication all the time. Mm-hmm. Now, this is the first time we've lived through a pandemic. Most of us. There are a few people that were born in 1980 who were here in 1918, still living. Mm-hmm. Okay, we don't know that many. I'm talking about the Spanish flu pandemic.
Right.
They were here. But you had the polio pandemic, the Spanish flu. We take the polio vaccine. We take the flu vaccine, the regular flu. Nobody know what that was. Did the saints ask where that came from when they started telling us we had to take the flu vaccine when you turn 50? They take that flu vaccine, but now we're living through a pandemic and we're watching the vaccine be made and we're here at the first doses. But remember, you got smallpox, polio, tetanus, all kind of vaccines that we took and our children took. And then that flu vaccine came out, about 30 years ago. Come on, this is just one we're living through the first dosages of it. Mm-hmm. We're living through the making of it. But y'all ain't that holy because everybody that's telling you that they have taken some kind of medicine that man has made and you don't know how it was made.
Well, I took the vaccine. I've had the first shot and I go back in March to get the second shot. So
and I had the second one.
I am definitely endorsing that people should get the vaccine, especially Black and brown people, because
especially us, because we are higher risk And it's the same thing of, okay, saints, if you don't want to take the shots, then change your eating habits and start eating better.
Right.
Okay, let's stop this obesity. Why don't we worry about being overweight since you worried about where the shot come from? In gluttony or sin? Oh, no. Come on.
We need to take the shot. That is my advice.
Yeah, we need to take that shot. Okay. And of course it's a personal decision, but the same people are saying, I won't take this vaccine shot. I am willing to say they're under the doctor's care for something that requires them to take medication. Yeah, and of course there are risks in vaccines. There are risks in all of these medicines that we take. But you decide how much of a risk do you want in order to live. But this is so bad that you're not just risking you're not taking a personal risk, but when you're not vaccinated against this disease, you're also risking the lives of others around you. You're risking the lives of the people that you live with. You're risking the lives of the people you associate with. And we want to go back to church and be together at some point. We'd like to associate together again. We'd like to assemble ourselves together as saints of God. I'm not assembling with y'all that's going to believe that don't believe in taking the vaccine. I'm not assembling with you.
You shouldn't, because COVID tends to have devastating effects on our community. That is a fact. It has devastating effects, and whereas it does not.
We as grandparents raising our grandchildren, and you need that to fight against all that stuff, because those children are out there to all that stuff that they're bringing into. You understand? No, I think it's foolishness. I think it's foolishness not to take it. And I don't. And why are you trying to be scientific and try to figure out what it's made of and what it came from? You don't know anyway. Let the scientists do all that. You haven't asked your doctor about where that Tylenol come from and that Advil that you pop in your mouth every day that has a whole lot of risk. Yeah.
Take the risk. My advice is take the risk to live.
That's right.
Take the risk to live.
The benefits outweigh the risk.
I would rather have I don't want to have any, but I can take the risk of the side effects versus the side effects from COVID. COVID is
right.
Demonic. It's like
it's an attack. I tell you, on the whole body, starting with the mind, because it attacks the memory, the brain. It attacks every part of your body. COVID attacks. Has the possibility. Now, what part you will be attacked by, you never know, but Sheila, you're looking good, girl.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Hopefully something will happen soon.
I know. I kept that a secret. The Lord has blessed in that area for me.
You know what? When you told me you had a Valentine, I texted you and you said, don't text me anymore. I got a Valentine's date or something you said.
That's right.
Lord, I thank you. But I told you when you sent me that picture of you with the yellow on, I said it will not be long.
Oh, that's right.
And I said it will not be long. And you said I hope not. And I said no, not looking like this. So I need something. I'm gonna text something soon by faith. Right?
Girl, COVID did look. It kept me sitting still. I told you.
You have to tell us. You have to tell us about him.
Oh, I'm not gonna do all that because I don't share my personal business in public.
Right.
That's enough right there. That's enough right there.
We're getting ready to go off the live. Thank you so kindly for tuning in today. We had the beautiful, glamorous Judge Mablean Ephraim, all the way from Los Angeles / Beverly Hills, California.
Girl, I live in Los Angeles. I'm not one to pretend. And I don't have to pretend. I am who I am.
I know
at the level I am. I do not live in Beverly Hills. I can't afford Beverly Hills prices. Okay, let it be said. Everybody on TV, we're at different levels. Just because you're on TV, they didn't open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. We are all at different levels. It's a job. So some of us have a job making this amount of money. Some of us have a job making substantially more. I don't make Beverly Hills living money. And frankly, I'm happy, and I thank the Lord for what I have and what I do make, because it's better than some folks who have nothing and who are unemployed. So I am content, and I thank the Lord for where I am today, for what He is in my life and who He is in my life. So I'm
Oh, that's
happy.
awesome. Oh, you
Mhm.
a preacher. You know, you were on the live feed last week, and I said, I put on there you were a preacher, and everybody was liking what I said. So you a preacher. You got a word. But we thank you. Go
And
ahead.
so are you.
No, I'm not a preacher.
Uh-huh. When you accepted Jesus, He told you to go into the world and preach the gospel, didn't He?
He did. Yes, he did.
Okay. All right.
Commission. Yes, he
That's
did.
right. The Great Commission. So that means you a preacher too.
Okay. Well, we
Mhm.
thank you for tuning in with Legal Views with attorney Sheila R. Stewart as we hosted the beautiful and glamorous Judge Mablean Ephraim. She will be back with us
And
soon.
intelligent.
I'm sorry.
And intelligent. See, we put so much emphasis on the outward appearance. Come on, honey, hit my brain.
No, I've been hitting
And
my brain all
intelligent.
evening. I've been
Huh?
hitting my brain all evening.
I know, but when you give that, description is beautiful. Brainy, intelligent.
Okay, what about this?
The beauty fades. The beauty fades. But that mind.
The brilliant Judge Mablean Ephraim, entrepreneur, former prosecutor, lawyer, started
What
on
about my books? We forgot about my books. I have 2 books. Oh, look deep before you leap. And just Judge Mablean's Life Lessons, 52 Tools for Weekly Living.
Yes, you know what we were talking. So
just order them on my website, judgemablean.com, JUDGEMABLEAN.com. You can order the books on my website. Look deep before you leap, talking about avoiding unhealthy relationships, heed the red flag warnings, and Judge Mablean's Life Lessons, 52 Tools for Weekly Living, a tool per week to help you live better. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We have to talk about these books next time you come, because I have several chapters outlined about these red flags. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
I have gone through these red flags that I wanted to talk about, the red flags that we need to look for. And I really like the one about he's a cheapskate, but I need to go through these red flags. So you definitely have to come back so we can do that, because I think I will really enjoy these books and the red flags. And he's jealous, he's controlling. I mean, this is a fun read. And not only is it a fun read, it's a true read. That's what I like.
Right. It's coming out audiobook too. I just finished the audiobook.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you all for joining in, and we will have the judge back with us soon. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. God bless you.